Hey everyone, how's it going? This is Mike. Welcome back to my channel, and this is going to be the last in my series of showing you my TV show collection. So I have quite a few things to show you here. Starting off with, are you ready? The Twilight Zone. Do 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 do. Classic show. This even has the hour-long episodes, which I think lasted for one season or something like that. How many years was this on? I don't remember. But we just love this show when it first came on, man. I don't think I missed a single episode. So I waited for years until the prices were coming down, 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 and I finally got this. Very happy to have it. So even though it does show every night for a half hour on MeTV, but I still wanted to own it. Okay. Next up, I bought this. Okay, this is a one season wonder, the year 1959, 1960. A show called Tightrope starring Mike Connors. Mike Connors, who of course later became very famous as Mannix in the 1960s. Uh, this is a show that I watched religiously when I was a kid and wanted to see it again. I bought it from an outfit called Loving the Classics, which I bought a few things from these people, and some of the things have been fair quality. It takes a long time to get them. This is kind of a mixed bag. This is supposed to be the entire series, and some of the shows are watchable, and some of them are not quite so watchable. So the quality you get from Loving the Classics, I'm giving you a little bit of a warning here because these people don't always put out quality product, and they also have kind of shady practices. In fact, I found out that they had charged me 2 additional times for something that I had bought and that I had already paid for and had delivered. So I, yeah, I don't want to do business with these people anymore, and I do not recommend them. So if you come across Loving the Classics on your late night searches for obscure TV shows or films, please skip Loving the Classics. Anyway, I'm glad I have this. Mike Connors plays an undercover cop who takes on different identities to solve crimes and bring people to justice, and it was a lot of fun, so I'm glad to have it. All right, next up is, let's see, have this, well, I have the miniseries, the original. Let's see. I think there's a companion piece to this. I didn't see this when it first came on, but I bought it later on, and I really like it. So if there's more to this, I know they remade it, right? Didn't they? Just not too many years ago. This is a very cool show, very well done. And I also picked this up at another one of my Big Lot specials. This is a show called Touch, starring Kiefer Sutherland, which this is season 1, and I don't know anything about it. So if anybody has seen this, maybe you can tell me if it's worth putting in the old DVD player or not. So, all right. Next up, I have, well, Steve McQueen, when he was starting out as an actor, after he did The Blob, he did a terrific TV Western called Wanted, Dead or Alive. He played a bounty hunter named Josh Randall. Very cool show. We always watched it. And so I bought this, the first season of Wanted, Dead or Alive, and then of course later on I went and bought the rest of the series. I think this was on for 3 years, 1958 to 1961, I believe. Very, very good show, something we never missed back in the day. I watched a lot of Westerns, didn't I? Wow, it's kind of surprising to me. I didn't realize I was that much of a Western fan, but I guess I was. This is the miniseries that came on several years ago that I thought was terrific. This is Matt Dillon and Wayward Pines. Anybody watch this? Very, very good miniseries. Very strange, sort of a Twin Peaks type thing, and I'm a big fan of Matt Dillon anyway, so yeah, Wayward Pines, I like this a lot. And I also bought this just for the hell of it, because I like Mark Wahlberg. Wahlburgers, this is the first season. It's kind of a reality show where you have Marky Mark and his brother Donnie and another brother who is opening a restaurant, so it's all about all 3 of these guys being involved in the opening of this restaurant. They have little interviews with family members, and mother shows up and all this stuff. And Marky Marcus is full of himself, but I'm a big fan of his too. Wahlburgers, kind of fun, kind of a time filler. Next, I have these 3 Walt Disney Treasure sort of steelbook things, which are really nice. I have 3 of them. This has the first, well, the first season of Spin and Marty, which was a terrific show that they had back in the first year of the Mickey Mouse Club, 1955-56. they were producing some serials, and one of them was Spin and Marty, starring Tim Considine as Spin and David Stollery as Marty. It was all about a boys' ranch where all these boys from different walks of life go and spend the summer, and they get to ride horses and go camping and do all this really cool stuff. And Spin and Marty were two guys from opposite sides of the tracks who fought with each other and all this stuff during most of the season, but then they became the best of friends. Spin and Marty also came back for the next year of the Mickey Mouse Club, and then the year after that. So there are two other chapters of Spin and Marty, which I would love have them put out so we could all see them again. But yeah, this is really wonderful to have Spin and Marty. And this is another one. This is the very first week of the Mickey Mouse Club back in 1955, so you get to see where it all began and how it all started, and all the little kids when they were so cute and they were dancing and singing and all that wonderful stuff. Mickey Mouse Club. And then finally I have this. This is a serial that was on during the last year, 57, 58. This is Annette, starring Annette Funicello. When she was 15 years old, they put a serial that was focused on her because she was the most popular of the Mouseketeers by that time, and everybody wanted to see her. So they put her in this serial about a young girl from the country who comes from a poor background, and she goes to live in the city with her aunt and uncle, and of course they're a little more high class, a little more wealthy. So she has all these family conflicts as well as normal teenage conflicts, trying to get involved in the new high school and all that. And Tim Considine is in this. Shelley Fabre is in it. Roberta Shore, Mary Wicks plays the family maid. It's a really cool show. David Stollery is also in it. So you have Spin and Marty not playing Spin and Marty. So that's a lot of fun. Let's see what else. I think I'm pretty much done here. I have this nice box set of Space 1999, both seasons. Let's see. Is that upside down? It is, isn't it? Sorry. Martin Landau and Barbara Bain. I watched the first season of this and a little bit of the second season, but I need to get back into it again. I think it's a very cool show. I didn't watch it when it was originally on, but I watched it later on. Well, no, I didn't watch it later on. I just got kind of fascinated with wanting to see it because I heard a lot of people talking about it. So anyway, Space 1999. There we go. What else do I have here? I think I'm pretty much done. I have 8 seasons of the Xfiles. Is that all they have? Because I'm not sure. Maybe they had more seasons than that. But I have season number 1 and season number 8 that I will show you here. And as you can see, these aren't even open yet. So I have a lot of Xfiles to watch as well. Let me see. What else do we have? Okay. Speaking of box sets, I have this Twin Peaks box set on Blu-ray. This is very nice. I actually started to watch this show maybe a year or two ago. I didn't see it when it was originally on because I was working at night. I just didn't bother to record it. But I got very curious about it, so I did start watching, and I watched maybe the first 5 episodes or something. For some reason, I got distracted, and then I just kind of lost my momentum. I need to get back into it. This has a Firewalk with Me and all that stuff. So anyway, Twin Peaks, right. I also have this nice collector's tin of a show called The Veil starring Boris Karloff. It doesn't have, let's see, it just has 10 episodes, but this is very nice. Somebody actually gave this to me as a gift, so it's very nice. But another show with Boris Karloff. I think he was not only the host, but he acted in a few of these, so I need to get into these as well. Then I have these box sets. The Winds of War. This is a miniseries that came out in the early 1980s, starring Robert Mitchum, Paulie Bergen, Ally McGraw, and the producer and the director was Dan Curtis, of course, who had done Dark Shadows, and the associate producer was none other than Barbara Steele, who also acts very briefly in an early episode. She has a nice little cameo where it's cool because you get to see her interact with Robert Mitchum. Barbara Steele and Robert Mitchum in a scene together. That's very nice. And they have a little documentary about behind the scenes and how it was made and all that. So you get to hear her being interviewed as well. So that's very nice. And I also have the sequel, or the follow-up, I should say, which is War and Remembrance. This nice big box set. In this one, Barbara was actually the full producer, and she is in another episode, a very brief cameo, and that's the only episode I've watched. So I have this entire miniseries I need to start getting into as well. And as far as box sets go, the last one I have to show you is The Wild Wild West. Robert Conrad and Ross Martin. Wow, 4 years, 1965 to 69. Great, great show. The first year was in black and white. The rest were in color. And just every one of them had sort of a very dark, almost mystical or a horror movie atmosphere going to a lot of special effects and really cool stuff. A lot of stunts that were done by Robert Conrad himself because he was kind of a daredevil actor. And we never missed this when I was a kid. Very, very good show. So I'm very happy to have this. Wild Wild West. And finally, I have a lot of, I keep all my TV shows in one section, but I also keep my programs from the website called The Video Beat, which is a website that I've talked about many times. I have from television the entire series of Shindig. If any of you remember that, back in 64 to 66, about a year and a half, Shindig was on ABC just about every night. It was every night for an hour, and then I think later on was a half an hour every day after school, and they had great rock and roll. Now, I didn't watch this when I was a kid because we didn't get that channel very well, but I certainly knew about Shindig. I heard about it. So when I found a way to get these shows, I just started lapping them up. They had people on there like, they had regulars like Donna Lauren and The Blossoms featuring Darlene Love. Billy Preston was a regular for a while. They had the Righteous Brothers, Bobby Sherman of all people. Wow. And it had a lot of live music. Some things were lip synced, but not very often, really. It was really a wild show. And this even has the original commercials. So, but they showcased a lot of great artists, not only American artists, but some of the British invasion artists, people from other countries. They showcased people like Aretha Franklin when she was just starting out before anybody really knew who she was. She didn't have any hits. It was a very, very good show. And speaking of rock and roll, here we go. Also from the Video Beat, I went ahead and picked up the entire series of Hullabaloo, which I did watch when I was a kid. This was on for about a year, 65, 66 on NBC. And it's another show that has a lot of dancers and great guest stars from that time, and a guest host every week. I look at it now and it doesn't seem nearly as hip as it did back then, but we didn't have anything else to watch, in those days. So this was something my sister and I never missed. We rushed to the TV when this was on, and had a lot of great guest stars. And they did do a lot of lip syncing on Hullabaloo, but we didn't care. We liked it. So. Anyway, I think that's everything that I have. Unless I forgot something, I'll show you later. So thanks for sticking with me in my little TV show series, and comments are welcome.